So I had a similar video like what I'm making now after the Tim Pool and Glenn Beck uh, podcast that was done. That was just like profound. In the comment section below, it should be below no matter what the format of this video. I'm going to include the link to the Tim Pool Timcast IRL for tonight. That's November the 12th, 2020. It was Michael Malice, Alex Jones, plus Tim, Ian, and Lydia. It was absolutely fantastic. Alex Jones was so well behaved. He was so excited to be there. Like, he was starstruck with Tim Pool. It was hilarious. Alex and his wife both are into Tim Pool. A lot of people listen to Tim. A lot more people probably should. Hopefully, his ego doesn't take off or anything. But his method of news is really it's more commentary than news, but he keeps the facts straight, and he's really good with his fact checking. He even forces all of his content to basically be taken from sources that are certified by a third-party fact checker or whatever. So even the people that like to claim that anything he's reporting is fake news, he can say, "No, see, it's certified." He's really astute with that. He's really shrewd about it. They call him a milquetoast fence sitter because he just kind of the best way I can really put it is that it's like he's doing mastered ultra instinct against the censorship. He manages to keep himself afloat and popular by not breaking certain rules, but at the same time, in other ways, will find ways around. So it's not like he's just taking a seat and saying yes or no, sir. He's just finding ways to continue going without getting censored. But he's really good at it. He's able to get quite a bit of information. And so, anyways, today was an absolutely stellar showing. The guests were excellent. Nobody fought. Nobody argued. It was the only point there was, I think, unless I'm forgetting, and I was actually watching a clip from yesterday's show, there was like a brief moment of like, no, that was from yesterday. So yeah, no, I don't think there was any serious tension of any sort on the show between the guests. It was really cordial. It was really great. They fact checked Alex on a ton of stuff, and he came out to be right about pretty much everything. And a few places where it was basically like, we're into matters that are beyond speculation. We're talking about like alternate dimensions, spirituality, things that can't be proven. And it's like, while the thesis of what Alex was saying was actually sound, there was no way to back it up. Therefore, Tim didn't really want to get into it. But beyond that, like, seriously, there was no animosity. There was no the craziness was contained or intentional for good effect. Alex just screaming out of nowhere, and nobody on the show, none of the hosts, recognized that what it was. It's the same attitude that Tim says, which is that if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do the opposite, or if you tell me to do something, I'm going to do the opposite. So they were like, shh, hush, hush, quiet down. And so Alex was just like, ah, in that moment for that. It was pretty hilarious. So I'm going to leave a link to it. I suggest you watch it. Yeah, Alex Jones is a trip, and he has had a history of saying some pretty provocative and potentially out there things. And he also has a history of being factually correct on a lot of things, even if sometimes he's also kind of getting them backward in his mania or whatever it is that he's doing, his rants. But there is some good information there, some truth. It's not the be-all, end-all by any means. Don't get me wrong. I don't take that from anyone. Same thing with Tim. I disagree with Tim on some things, but he's so astute. His method is so honest that he can't help but be pretty close to right on with the same kind of methods that I use. So independently, we're not, there's no opposition there as far as, mentalities of people. Not that my mentality is of any consequence to his, but I'm just saying as far as a person choosing to or not to believe or whatever, I can generally trust Tim's work. And that in this day and age is like pretty much the paramount thing, that you have to be able to trust your source, or that your sources are good or whatever. And this dude goes into it in his daily videos on screen and highlights things and points it out clearly. So that's pretty trustworthy. It doesn't mean that he's not fallible, but he'll also say that. So it's a really, for some reason, because he criticized the Democrats with their treatment of Bernie Sanders, he got called right-wing. Same thing with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a freaking Hollywood liberal. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And Tim's right on the middle of the political spectrum. He's really not right wing at all. And he gets to some good guests, and he goes places where other people don't want to go, and I think that's also very important. So that's why I watch him. Same reasons with Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder, basically, his co-host of his show is his lawyer, for the express purpose of making sure that everything he does is legit and doesn't open him up or his employees to liabilities, and also make sure that he is in fact correct, to the best possible way. So Tim is much the same, although without a lawyer. But Tim's really, really good. He's got a good mind for that. So anyways, that's all for this video. 3 hours and 40 minutes of some of the most enlightened conversation that has been had on YouTube on a live stream in a really long time. And it was really refreshing. And I'm not as placid as I was with the Glenn Beck one, but it's just like invigorated or energized. Like it's just not just seeping off of energy of Alex Jones being on the, because he's always pretty up at it. But just, there was some really good, stimulating conversation with a lot of cool factual basis to it, and a lot of agreement in places where I think everyone expected there to be disagreement, and I thought that was really worthwhile. So I'll leave it at that. This is long enough. Link in description. Enjoy. Please do yourself a favor and check this out. It's funny. If you smoke, get lit and watch it. You'll love it.